There is one civilization that has endured longer than any other on Earth. While empires across the world rose, collapsed, and vanished, China survived for over 5,000 years. Through invasion, famine, rebellion, and revolution, it has repeatedly fallen apart only to rebuild itself. And that story begins with two rivers. Along the Yellow River in the north and the Yangtze in the south, early Chinese communities learned to farm. But these rivers were dangerous, and flooding destroyed villages again and again. Legend says, a ruler named Yu the Great solved the problem not by blocking the water, but by redirecting it. Whether myth or reality, Yu represents a defining Chinese idea: mastery through adaptation. Yu became the first ruler in a long line of dynasties. Emperors held power as long as they had the mandate of heaven, the belief that political rule depended on moral legitimacy. If a ruler lost that mandate, rebellion was justified. Early dynasties like the Shang and Zhou rose and fell, but their most important legacy was intellectual. During centuries of chaos, thinkers searched for order, giving rise to Confucianism, legalism, and Taoism, philosophies that still shape China today. In 221 BCE, one man ended the division. Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor, unified China through conquest. He standardized writing, currency, and law, and connected walls into what would become the Great Wall. But his rule was brutal. Obsessed with immortality, he was poisoned by his own elixirs. His dynasty collapsed just 15 years later, but the idea of a unified China never did. The Han dynasty followed, defining Chinese identity itself. The Silk Road connected China to the world. Confucian ideals shaped the government, and a merit-based bureaucracy emerged. So influential was this era that today, over 90% of Chinese people identify as Han. Yet, China fractured again. After centuries, it reached golden ages under the Tang and Song dynasties. Art, poetry, and science flourished. Gunpowder, printing, and the compass all emerged. But innovation could not stop invasion. In the 13th century, the Mongols, led by the descendants of Genghis Khan, conquered China, making it part of the largest land empire in history. Foreign rule bred resentment, and the Mongols were overthrown by the Ming dynasty. The Qing, China's final imperial rulers, expanded territory but struggled to modernize. By the 1800s, Western powers forced China open through the Opium Wars, beginning what China still calls the century of humiliation. Revolutions followed, empires collapsed, and in 1949 Mao Zedong founded the People's Republic of China, reunifying the country at a catastrophic human cost. After Mao, China opened its economy, and its growth exploded. Today, it stands once again as a global superpower. China's history is not a straight line. It is a cycle of unity, collapse, and reinvention. And after 5,000 years, one thing is certain: China's story is far from over. Thanks for watching.